Have you ever wondered why some men give everything money, time, protection, loyalty, emotional support and still end up being ignored, disrespected, or replaced? Society has sold men a comforting lie. It tells you that if you become successful enough, generous enough, and reliable enough, love and respect will naturally follow. It tells you that being a provider is the highest expression of masculinity. But what if that belief is exactly what keeps millions of men trapped? Here is the uncomfortable truth. A man who only provides but lacks internal masculine value isn't viewed as a leader. He becomes a utility, a resource, a convenient solution, and utilities are appreciated only as long as they remain useful. The moment someone believes they can get the same benefits elsewhere, your value disappears. That is not leadership, that is dependency, disguised as masculinity. If you are leading with your wallet while lacking internal dominance, you aren't respected for who you are. You are tolerated for what you provide. Today, we are exposing one of the biggest psychological traps modern men fall into, the provider trap. And more importantly, we are going to show you how to escape it, because your greatest asset should never be your bank account. It should be your character. If this channel challenges the narratives that society has programmed into men, subscribe to EvoLeveX. Turn on notifications and become part of a community dedicated to building stronger, wiser, and more disciplined men. If you are serious about becoming a man whose value cannot be bought or manipulated, stay until the end, because the final principle changes everything. Let's begin. For generations, boys have grown up hearing the same message. Study hard, get a good job, earn more money, provide for everyone around you, then you will deserve love. Notice the wording. You will deserve love. That single belief quietly conditions men to believe that love is something earned through service rather than inspired through character. This creates what psychologists call conditional self-worth. Your identity becomes attached to your usefulness. You stop asking, "Who am I?" Instead, you ask, "What can I give?" This is where the provider trap begins. Many high-earning men confuse financial utility with genuine attraction. They assume expensive gifts create emotional connection. They mistake dependency for loyalty. They mistake gratitude for admiration. They mistake convenience for love. But attraction doesn't operate that way. Respect doesn't emerge because someone pays the bills. Respect grows when people recognize internal strength, emotional stability, self-respect, and unwavering standards. Money amplifies who you already are. If you are internally confident, money expands your influence. If you are internally insecure, money simply gives insecurity a larger budget. Many men believe increasing income automatically increases masculine value. It doesn't. Income increases purchasing power. Masculine value comes from psychological power. Those are two completely different currencies. This explains why some wealthy men constantly chase approval while some ordinary men naturally command respect wherever they go. One leads with resources, the other leads with presence. And presence always outlasts possessions. Eventually, many providers discover something painful. They are no longer viewed as romantic partners. They are viewed as infrastructure. The mortgage gets paid. The bills get handled. The emergencies get solved. The responsibilities are carried. But somewhere along the journey, they stop being seen. They become the invisible man inside their own relationship. Present, necessary, yet emotionally irrelevant. This doesn't happen because they provide. It happens because providing became their only identity. When your value depends entirely on what you do, people slowly stop appreciating who you are. Emotional neediness quietly accelerates this process. Neediness doesn't always look desperate. Sometimes it looks like constantly trying to keep everyone happy, avoiding conflict, never saying no, buying expensive gifts after every disagreement, accepting disrespect to avoid losing the relationship, seeking reassurance through endless acts of service. Every one of these behaviors communicates the same hidden message: I don't believe I am enough without constantly proving my worth. That message destroys attraction. Money cannot repair a weak psychological frame. Only internal strength can. Now let's examine how manipulation quietly enters this dynamic. Very few people openly exploit providers. Most manipulation is subtle. A man buys expensive gifts hoping arguments disappear. He sacrifices his own priorities to maintain peace. He ignores disrespect because confrontation feels risky. He continuously gives more while expecting appreciation to eventually arrive. It rarely does. Why? Because every time you reward poor behavior, you teach people that your boundaries are negotiable. Your generosity becomes expected. Your sacrifices become normal. Your standards slowly disappear. Without realizing it, you have trained others to see your kindness as obligation instead of choice. This is why the phrase happy wife, happy life becomes dangerous when misunderstood. There's nothing wrong with wanting your partner to be happy. The danger comes when your entire identity revolves around avoiding her disappointment. A man without standards eventually becomes a man without authority. Peace purchased through self-abandonment isn't peace, it is surrender. Over time, resentment begins to grow. You work harder, give more, receive less. You become exhausted, not because providing is wrong, because you are providing from fear instead of strength. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of abandonment, fear of being alone. Those fears quietly replace leadership, and relationships built on fear always become unstable. So, what is the alternative? Internal masculine authority. Internal dominance has nothing to do with controlling other people. It begins with controlling yourself. It means your emotions don't dictate your decisions. Your loneliness doesn't lower your standards. Your success doesn't inflate your ego. Your failures don't destroy your identity. Internal dominance is the ability to walk away from any deal that requires sacrificing your self-respect. Read that again. A man who cannot walk away can never truly negotiate, whether in business, friendship, dating, or marriage. The strongest position is never having the biggest wallet. It is never needing to sell your dignity. When you become internally self-sufficient, something remarkable happens. You stop chasing validation. You stop explaining your worth. You stop trying to impress people who have already decided not to value you. Your confidence becomes quieter. Your decisions become clearer. Your relationships become healthier because you are no longer asking people to complete your identity. You already possess one. This is why physical fitness matters, not because muscles magically create respect, but because disciplined training reinforces psychological discipline. Every workout teaches delayed gratification. Every completed session strengthens self-trust. Every difficult set reminds you that discomfort is temporary. Fitness isn't only transforming your body, it is training your mind to become dependable. Likewise, purpose matters. A man consumed by meaningful goals becomes naturally attractive because his life doesn't revolve around gaining approval. His mission exists independently of anyone else's validation. He doesn't make people his purpose. He invites people into his purpose. That difference changes everything. Imagine stripping away your income, your car, your house, your status, your expensive clothes, your social media. Who remains? That question terrifies many men because they have confused external assets with internal identity. But that question also reveals genuine masculine value. Would people still respect your discipline, your honesty, your courage, your leadership, your emotional stability, your integrity? If the answer is yes, you have built something no economic downturn can take away. If the answer is no, then the work begins today. So, how do you build respect that cannot be purchased? First, establish boundaries that remain consistent regardless of someone's opinion of you. You teach people how to treat you through what you consistently tolerate. Second, stop using money to solve emotional problems. Resources should improve life. They should never purchase affection. Third, become comfortable disappointing people when protecting your principles. Approval gained through self-betrayal always comes with hidden costs. Fourth, build a meaningful mission. A purposeful man doesn't beg people to stay. He builds a life worth joining. Fifth, choose relationships where appreciation flows naturally rather than constantly needing to be negotiated. Healthy relationships don't require endless transactions. They thrive on mutual respect. Finally, remember this: your greatest provision is not your paycheck. It is your leadership, your emotional stability, your courage during uncertainty, your consistency when life becomes difficult, your ability to protect your values even when it is expensive. That is the kind of provision that creates lasting respect. The world doesn't need more men who simply earn money. It needs more men who cannot be psychologically purchased. Men whose values remain unchanged regardless of circumstance. Men who lead because they possess character, not because they possess resources. Stop asking, what more can I give? Start asking, who am I becoming? Because one question creates dependency, the other creates freedom. And freedom is the foundation of genuine masculine power. If today's video challenged your perspective, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with another man who has confused providing with becoming valuable. One conversation could change the direction of his life. Comment below with one word: character. Let everyone know you are choosing internal strength over external validation. Subscribe to EvoLeveX if you are committed to building discipline, confidence, emotional resilience, and authentic masculine leadership. If you are ready to go beyond YouTube and begin transforming your mindset at a deeper level, explore our premium books, courses, and resources at www.evolevex.com. They are designed for men who refuse to settle for average. Until next time, remember this: never measure your worth by what you provide. Measure it by who you remain when there is nothing left to prove.